We are back at City South Campus post-general election to find out how students feel about the Conservatives gaining power. So, how are you guys feeling about the Conservatives gaining power?
It's a tricky one. I'm pretty much pleased that Labour didn't get in, but whether the Tories should have been in or not is different. I think they've done well since the last 5 years that they've been in, but their plans for the future are a bit iffy, and it wouldn't have been my first vote.
I don't know how it's going to affect us. I know some of the things that have been what they're saying they're going to do, but I don't know how it's going to affect us yet.
Absolutely not. I mean, I was completely disgusted with a lot of the decisions the Conservatives made in the last coalition government. I mean, things such as the bedroom tax and the way they've treated the NHS is just terrible, not giving them the pay rise that they deserve, cutting services, reorganisation of services, which hasn't really made much benefit at all. So I'm really upset about the outcome, to be honest.
Because there's apparently plans to cut 2,000 nurses in the next couple of years. And then they've also cut in funds from elderly people home care, which means that we're going to have a lot of elderly people attending A&E in hospital for weeks on end because of social issues, even more so than there is already, because there's no funding for them to go home or for the equipment that they need or to go into a residential home, so they're sitting in hospital medically fit for weeks and weeks on end.
How will the Conservatives being in power affect you as a student going into the NHS industry?
There'll be a lot more competition for each job. So if they're going to continue to keep cutting jobs, there's going to be less of a chance that if, for instance, you've got the same qualifications or somebody's got a higher qualification than you and they purely look at it as that, they're going to take the nurse that's obviously got the higher class and degree. But
because of where we're at in our training, I don't think any changes are going to come in that quick that it is actually going to initially affect us, to be honest.
Later on in their term that you where actually might see a difference, or if
it's going to get more competitive to get a job, you might find that the care actually improves within the hospitals. Maybe that could be a plus side of it, I don't know. But
nurses in the private sector, so the private sector will probably have more growth, so there might be more of a chance of us to get more jobs there.
In the ambulance service, there's plenty of private companies appearing now anyway, but I don't think it's a good thing. The NHS is set up for a reason for people that perhaps can't afford their own healthcare, right through to people that are millionaires. It's sort of across the board the same. So privatising it, I don't think it's a good thing at all.
Well, my biggest worry is the unsociable hours payment. I'm a bit concerned that they're going to cut it, and if they do, that'll be terrible, because what they're trying to do is create a 7-day working service, which is good and beneficial, obviously. But if they're not going to pay us to do night shifts, Saturdays, Sundays, it's completely unfair, because nobody else has to work those hours. Why should we? And we're not even paid that much in comparison with private sector jobs, so why should we not get the extra money for doing the unsociable hours? The other problems I sort of have is I'm worried they're going to cut benefits to vulnerable people, and that'll have a backfire on the NHS, because if people aren't getting capacity benefits and if the bedroom tax increases, then that's going to have a really negative impact, because more people are going to be coming into hospital because they're not getting the help they need in the community.